Hey everyone, welcome to Quick Serve. I am Andy, and we will get right to it. Novak looked like Novak last night, beating Yuri Lehecka in straight sets. So to reset, beating Thomas Machac 1-4-4, which is a hell of a scoreline, and then going straight sets through Lehecka. I watched the highlights this morning, guys. It was vintage Novak. He was getting out of the corners. The ball was flying off of his racket. That typical one-shot pass into a dramatic passing shot, served pretty well, defended a second serve, warning shot to the rest of the field. Novak is here to contend for this event. You know who's not here to contend for this event anymore? Davidovich Fokina. I think he might have had his flight booked before this one. Loses 1-1-1 to Tommy Paul in about an hour and 20 minutes. Nice reset physically for Tommy Paul. He will be feeling fresh as a daisy for his matchup with Alex Zverev, who took out Humbert in 4 sets. Was pretty straightforward. Took a set off in the second set, got broken a couple of times, but then rebounded to win 3-1 or 2, whatever it was. A couple of breaks in the 4th set. Zverev looking healthy, looking good, setting up a primetime matchup with the aforementioned Tommy Paul. Novak will play a guy named Chucky Alcaraz, who has not really gone through it physically so far in this tournament. We talked about on the last show, on the redraw show, you got to pay the bill for physicality at some point. You can't play 5 sets every match without having to pay the bill. Jack Draper, unfortunately, proved that correct, dealing with some hip issues against Carlos Alcaraz and making what he called the sensible decision to pull out down a couple of sets. The Chuckster will be fresh, but not exactly battle-tested going into this match with Novak. Primetime, I don't know who's going to win that one. Honestly, I would have said Chuckster 3 days ago. Novak has looked so good the last couple of rounds. I think that is a straight pick 'em. Props to Belinda Bencic for how she did in this tournament, coming back from giving birth, making a challenger, not starting in the big leagues, going and paying her dues before this event, making the 4th round. This is the type of matchup that has bothered Coco in the past, someone who can take the ball early, returns big, can get to that forehand side. Belinda Bencic played really well for over an hour. The problem with the best players in the world is they make you do it for 2.5, 3 hours at a time. This is a match that last year Coco would have been looking in kind of a panicked manner towards the player box. Steady the ship, took out Belinda's legs, obviously knowing that she probably hasn't had a ton of reps with extended matches. Obviously early in her comeback, Coco, I thought this was great for her. Little panic losing the first set and then regrouped, won 2-1, going away in the last couple. Matt Daly's name not being mentioned enough as having done a great job replacing Brad Gilbert last September. They were actively looking for another coach, right, to have Daly support. Now he's the main guy. Well-deserved. I think that's a great decision. We talked about Paula Badosa becoming reliable. Again, not in the top, I think, 130 going into Wimbledon last year. Danilovic 1-6, giving herself a little bit of space on that return, making her 2nd quarterfinal in a row at a slam after losing the U.S. Open to Emma Navarro. Sabalenka was a heavyweight fighter, playing someone who isn't quite there yet with Mirra Andreeva. I do think Andreeva wins a slam at some point, but the physicality of Sabalenka, she officially arrived to her best tennis in this event, winning 1 and 2. And the one we missed, guys, on the redraw show, not too bad. Missed one today. You know, when there are 8 matches, missing one's not too bad. I'm not sure what the percentages are. That's pretty good. Pavlyuchenkova goes through Vekic 6-0, has been putting up some lopsided scorelines, furthest she has ever made it in Australia. And I think 13 or 14 trips down there to this point, but actually really playing good stuff. Had 10 aces, 0 double faults. I'm pretty sure that's a good split for Pavlyuchenkova. Looked really, really good. And as we take a look forward, Svitolina, can she keep the Memphis Svitolina runs going against Kudermetova? I like Svitolina to advance. I think Swiatek rolls against the lucky loser Lees, who's probably been here 8 days longer than she thought she would after having lost in qualies. Lots of questions about Rybakina's back. I don't like that. I think I like Keys straight up in a healthy matchup with the way that she's been playing with a little bit more margin. I like the way her serve is going through the court. Seems to be getting a little bit more tail on the slice serves. I like Maddie Keys rolling there. Emma Navarro against Kasatkina. I think I like Emma Navarro. We always say people play their way into a tournament. She has literally played her way into the tournament. Hasn't won in straight sets yet. I do not question her fitness. I like her moving forward there. And then we look at Sinner Rune. This is the type of match that Rune likes. I think he gets a little nervous, a little tight when he's supposed to win matches, maybe struggles a little bit more inconsistent. I expect him to show up fully for this match, but obviously I'm not going to pick against Sinner. Memphis Shelton, so curious to see the tactical adjustments that are made in this one. Does Ben Shelton serve and volley as much as he has been? Where does Memphis stand on the return? Where does Memphis choose to serve? Is he going to hit that little cutter second serve that he was hitting against Taylor Fritz? I would guess so. That goes into Ben's back end. Is Ben going to shit on that? Is he going to sit on that? Tough. You might have to edit that one out, Mike, or leave it. It could be funny. I don't know who wins that one, but I know that we will all be certainly entertained. Lerner, Tien, and Sonego. Curious to see where Lerner Tien's body is after that absolute just drag-on match against Medvedev. It was an absolute classic. Best thing that could have happened for him is winning in straight sets against Mute, which he did. I think he bought himself enough time to recover. He knows that he can be tired next week, right? I hope Lerner Tien is physically okay. Props to Sonego. Went through Fonseca. I'm not sure anyone had him winning that match and has continued on. Guy's an uber professional. We'll see who goes through on that one. And my match of the day, just because I don't know, I'm so curious to see how the strategies work for Mickelson and the Demon. Right? They're both not going to serve the other one off the court. There's going to be a lot of breaks. Both of them return pretty well. They actually they don't give you a lot. They can attack. Their first choice isn't to attack right away. I'm really curious to see the cat and mouse between these two and see how it shakes out. But Alex Mickelson and Lerner Tien spent the offseason training together. Hey, Mike, you remember? Look at us. Look at us. We're in the second week of a slam. Look at us. Just a couple of crazy kids in the second week of a slam. Look at us. Let's see if Lerner Tien and Alex Mickelson can get a shot of life into U.S. tennis and make it. It could be up to 4 American men in the quarterfinals. Look at us. For all those commenters who said we were American heavy in our picks, you want half the field in the quarterfinals? Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. This has been Quick Serve. I'm Andy. We'll see you.